I'm a little bit tired, you know. I want to home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Usyk-Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I want to think what next.
Right? That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay?
It's just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Oleksandr Usyk shared his thoughts on Usyk-Itauma's bold call-out after his knockout win. Usyk admitted that the young heavyweight has talent, but stressed that he wants to take a break before considering his next move. He said he will carefully think about whether to face Itauma or choose another opponent.
I am with him right now. He's speaking with Joseph Parker.
This time I want to rest.
You want to rest?
Yeah, I want to rest.
Holiday. Congratulations, champ. You were absolutely incredible tonight. Did you enjoy that performance?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Listen, I'm very happy. I train hard. 3.5 months. I not look my family, my children. Now I'm a little bit tired, you know. I want to home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Usyk-Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I want to think what next. What next? Who my next opponent? Because now I have time and think about my career and the next fight.
You're loved in Ukraine, but I really do think you are loved by us here as well, and it showed tonight.
Thank you so much. I love UK people because it's a special fans, you know.
And you know, the final thing, people are now going to start talking about you as one of the greatest of all time. Does that mean something to you, to be one of the very greatest fighters and heavyweights of all time?
Thank you so much, bro.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor tweeted, "Whyte took a fucking dive. You can't convince me that kid can beat Usyk." His reaction sparked plenty of debate as fans questioned whether Usyk-Itauma's victory over Dillian Whyte was genuine dominance or not. Taylor's comment shows clear doubt about Itauma's ability to compete with elite champions like Oleksandr Usyk. In boxing, the idea of staging an event that brings together different generations always sparks interest. Turkey Alalshik has set his eyes on a clash between Oleksandr Usyk and Usyk-Itauma, which he describes as the ultimate test between an old lion and a young lion. Usyk represents years of experience, refined skill, and championship pedigree, while Itauma embodies the hunger, strength, and ambition of youth. The storyline already excites fans because it raises the question of whether youthful energy can overwhelm wisdom and mastery inside the ring.
Turkey Alalshik is demanding the Usyk-Itauma versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. That's the fight that he would like to make happen, as you guys just read in the caption. And let me counterpunch. I mean, that sounds good. You know, I think that Turkey is looking for someone to beat Usyk. And Moses' name is just the next name up, especially in his own personal interest. It's not Joseph Parker. I don't know what's the deal with Parker. I don't know why he doesn't like Parker. I mean, Parker, to me, is more like a Jon Snow because, I mean, he gets in battles and he gets scrapes and bleeds and abrasions and battle scars, but he ends up victorious at the end of the day, right? So that's what Joseph Parker reminds me of. But I think that it should be in order. It should be in order to fight. I don't think that a guy with 13 fights is or should be awarded that type of fight. Now, if the fight happened, it would be pretty good. Southpaw versus Southpaw, old lion versus, young lion. And I know Moses would jump on the opportunity if getting it, and he may get it. Depends on how bad does Turkey want it, because if Turkey really wants this fight, if he really, really wanted that fight, he's going to offer enough money for Usyk to go in there, because I think it's about Usyk, not Moses. You know what I mean? And also, something else you have to factor in is it's not all about what Turkey wants. It's also, and it should be, about what the sanctioning bodies demand.
Usyk-Itauma has not shied away from confidence, saying that his skill set is superior to Usyk's. This statement has stirred heavy debate, as Usyk is widely regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his era, known for his movement, sharp combinations, and ability to adjust to any opponent. Itauma, at only 20 years old, believes his blend of speed, power, and composure can surpass even a champion like Usyk. While some dismiss his claim as overconfidence, others see it as a sign of a fearless new generation unafraid to challenge legends.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think
I do.
If my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Many boxing analysts have expressed their reservations about pushing Usyk-Itauma straight into a fight with Oleksandr Usyk. The main argument they present is that Usyk is a master of the sport who has faced all types of styles and opponents. He has proven himself against some of the best heavyweights in the world and possesses a level of ring intelligence that cannot be underestimated. In contrast, Moses is still at the very beginning of his professional journey.
Itauma can fight and beat the likes of Oleksandr Usyk, which everybody, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, is stating that he would love to make a fight with Usyk and Moses Itauma. That's the fight to be made. Me personally, I think it's too early in his career. At 20 years old, Usyk knows all the tricks of the trade. Usyk is very athletic. Okay, he's a southpaw. He's slick. He knows how to buy time. He knows how to control distance and range. He has an extremely high ring IQ. I think that that's a step too far for Moses Itauma right now, right? But this is what Turkey want to see, and obviously Moses has a puncher's chance. Okay, he has a puncher's chance to land a big punch on Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach, so Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance.
Analysts highlight that Moses' most notable victory came against Dillian Whyte, who at the time of their fight was considered an inactive fighter and far from his prime. While it was an impressive performance, they argue that one win against a declining veteran does not justify immediately throwing him into the ring with a generational talent like Usyk. They believe it would be more beneficial for Moses to test himself against fighters closer to his own age and level of experience, such as Joseph Parker or other active contenders, before taking the ultimate leap.
Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. So Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance. But with that said, I just think that, that's a step too far. There's other names that I could see Moses Itauma fighting. Fight the likes of Joseph Parker, right? Big Zhang, okay? There's names out there that he can fight, right? That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now it's just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay? I think that, we need to allow this young man to grow, right? And then, we talk about Usyk. The problem is Usyk is 39, 40 years of age.
Trainer Ben Davison has taken a slightly different perspective, seeing the potential fight as a unique opportunity for both men. According to Davison, the fact that Usyk has never shared the ring with Moses, and vice versa, makes the matchup a particularly intriguing one. He points out that while Usyk is undeniably experienced, he has not yet encountered a young heavyweight with Moses' particular mix of speed, power, and fearlessness. From Davison's point of view, such a fight would not only test Moses' mettle, but could also surprise Usyk, every fighter has to face something new at some point in their career, and Moses could be the unexpected challenge that forces Usyk into uncomfortable territory.
I'm sure you would have seen that Ring Magazine have put out a tweet tonight or an Instagram post saying that they've been informed that Turkey wants to see Usyk and Moses next. What do you think about that?
Let's see. You know, he's just had a big fight. I think, you know.
Is he ready for that in your opinion? Just your opinion. Is he ready for?
I think it's one of them fights where it's a win-win. The experience he'd gain from it, the opportunity to really, you know, if Usyk was to box Dillian Whyte, people wouldn't say it would be a one-round job before tonight had happened. And I think, yeah, what he'd learned from it, the opportunity. And as much as Moses hasn't been in there with somebody like Usyk hasn't been in there with someone like Moses either.
Derek Chisora has been blunt in his assessment, advising Usyk-Itauma to steer clear of pursuing a fight with Oleksandr Usyk at this stage. Chisora's reasoning is rooted in the belief that Moses is still far too young and that chasing after inactive or aging legends is not the best way to build his career. Chisora himself has fought many top names in the division, and he understands the risks that come with rushing into big fights without adequate preparation. He argues that Moses should instead focus on carving his own path by fighting active contenders who are closer to his stage of development. Facing inactive legends may bring attention, but it does not necessarily provide the kind of experience that will sustain a long and successful career.
Interview is going to go out after the fight. So let's say Dillian does get the win. Who do you want to see him with next?
Don't know. If Dillian wins it, I'll be taking out.
And what about Moses? What next for him? Is it Oleksandr Usyk?
Huh?
If Moses gets the win, what next? Is it Oleksandr Usyk or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast. Different beast.
Derek, what next for you? When are we going to see you next in the ring?
Right now, I'm going to go sit down on the ringside and enjoy the fight.
Joseph Parker has provided a more balanced outlook on the potential fight. He acknowledges that a bout between Usyk and Usyk-Itauma is possible, but he emphasizes that everything depends on Usyk's own timeline and decision-making. Usyk has earned the right to decide when and against whom he fights next, given his status as one of the sport's reigning champions and a proven veteran of many battles. Parker suggests that if Usyk is willing and ready to take on Moses, then negotiations will follow accordingly. However, he stops short of outright endorsing the idea, noting that both camps need to carefully consider the timing and circumstances.
I am with Joseph Parker. Yeah, what did you make of that, Joseph?
Explosive. Explosive and quick. Faster than a lot of people thought. We thought it was going to be 3-4 rounds, and if it gets past that, it'll be a bit harder fight. But, you know, one round, every fighter wants to come out and be explosive and knock out their opponent and go home and chill.
It's silly of me to say, do you want Moses next? Because really, you want Oleksandr Usyk, don't you?
Yeah, I want Usyk next. I know Usyk's deserves his time to relax and chill with his family. When he's ready, I'd love to open up negotiations and see if we can make that fight happen.
Does that extension clause with the sanctioning body give you more hope that it may well happen?
You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's an extension to buy more time to an injury, and hopefully, you know, when he does decide to come back, then we can negotiate, and if we can make it happen, it'll be awesome.
Listen, we love you, and you're all about you, and we want you to be a world champion again, and I think you will be. But just say a final word on what we've witnessed tonight in a 20-year-old who may be the coming force eventually.
Listen, he did a tremendous job. I'm just watching it now. I don't really see it properly, but he, power.
Promoter Frank Warren has expressed his enthusiasm for a potential Usyk versus Moses showdown, but he remains cautious about rushing into it. According to Warren, the idea of such a fight is certainly appealing. And if Turki Alalshik, who has become a central figure in bringing major boxing events to Saudi Arabia, wants the fight, then serious discussions could be held. However, Warren stresses that nothing is currently planned. The decision will require input from all stakeholders, including Usyk's camp, Moses' team, and the event organizers. Warren's approach is pragmatic, recognizing that while fans are eager to see the young star challenged, it is vital to ensure the timing and circumstances are right.
An exclusive for you is that the WBO about a month ago put out that Joe Parker, who's their interim champion, has to challenge against Usyk, and Usyk has to defend against him. He's put a letter into yesterday stating, so I found out today, stating that he's asked him for an extension period because he's injured before being ordered to do anything. But whatever happens, the fact of life is that Joe Parker will either fight as champion if Usyk vacates the title, or he will fight Usyk for the title. So it's exciting times. If Moses were to win, or even if Dillian wins, whoever wins that fight, they're in the one spot. And if the fight doesn't happen with Usyk and Joe, then Joe will have to fight the official #1 contender.
Gosh, so that should be really fascinating, shouldn't it? Thank you for that little bit of exclusive there. So are you just telling us there in that exclusive that Usyk's got an injury at the moment then? That's what he's coping with at the moment?
His camp have written to asked him for a period of time to before they have to defend the titles.
Eddie Hearn has offered praise for Moses-Itauma's performance, but also sympathy for Dillian Whyte, who was knocked out in shocking fashion. Hearn acknowledges that Whyte earned a good payday from the fight, but he admits the result was not what many had expected. For Moses, the victory was career-changing, but Hearn believes it should be a stepping stone rather than a launchpad into an immediate clash with Usyk.
Tonight, you don't seem as impressed or sad?
No, of course impressed. Very impressed, but it's just a bit sad for Dillian. Like, he shouldn't really have been in there, if I'm honest, but what? You know that. You know that.
Lee, what you've got to say?
That's not what I said first. No. No. Special kid, Moses. Of course he is, but I don't think, like, that was the worst matchup for him with no activity, and I felt like that was always going to happen.
Dillian Whyte's career, that would have looked similar to that stylistically.
He's brilliant. But I found it, knowing Dillian and everything, at 38 years old, I found it quite hard to watch.
I just have to ask, whilst he's there, the Warrington fight, are we going to see that next?
Yeah, we love the fight. I mean, the problem is with Lee Wood, fuck me, I gave him some money. Jesus Christ. And now, obviously, every fight has its value, I always say. And that's a big value fight. It's a great fight for both. Listen, it's the final roll of the dice for both. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'll be interested to see how it plays out. We're definitely interested in making it happen.
TalkSport analysts have engaged in a lively discussion about what should be next for Moses-Itauma. They note that while a fight with Usyk would undoubtedly be huge for Moses, it may be wiser to first test him against Joseph Parker or other established heavyweights. The analysts argue that the win over Dillian Whyte, while impressive, does not provide enough evidence of how Moses would fare against a living legend like Usyk.
We go with him now. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him in a world title fight in 2 fights' time.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what Oleksandr Usyk's been given this extension with the WBO title. Joseph Parker obviously is the interim champion. Parker may take another route. He's very well ranked in the WBC as well. You don't know, of all these moving parts. And like you say, the main man, Turki Al-Sheikh, the guy that puts the money up, he will decide what he wants to do there. But if that WBO title becomes vacant, don't be surprised that you do not see Joseph Parker fighting for that title, but you see a vacant title going in with Moses-Itauma versus Filip Hrgović. That's the fight I could see for the vacant title.
For all the patience that Moses showed tonight, for all the precision he showed to put Dillian Whyte away, we still don't know what's going to happen when he's in the trenches, do we?
It's always the case, isn't it? Whenever you get a fantastic young talent coming through. I remember they said it's about Naz all those years
and Bruno.
ago. Bruno, the list goes on. It's a long one. And there will be somebody somewhere who can take the shots and who will put it on him. And then the questions will be asked, and it's whether or not he's got the answers. There'll be people out there. Somebody will do it.
Despite the doubts and debates, one thing remains clear. Moses-Itauma has shown extraordinary promise for someone so young. His victory over Dillian Whyte was not just about the knockout, but about the manner in which he fought. His speed, composure, and ability to seize the moment all stood out, marking him as one of the brightest prospects in heavyweight boxing. At only 20 years old, Moses has already generated significant buzz around his name. Fans and pundits alike are excited by his potential, praising the natural talent and confidence he brings to the ring. Whether he faces Usyk soon or takes a slower path, Moses-Itauma has already announced himself as a future force in the division.
In the world. Oh my goodness. I mean, let's be honest. We all expected Moses to win, but not in 2 minutes. The man annihilated Dillian Whyte in 2 minutes, and the man, listen. Let me give you the truth about Moses-Itauma. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Speed kills. And Moses Itauma is one of the fastest heavyweights I have ever seen in my life. Is he faster than Mike Tyson? Of course not. But for this generation and this era, he is the fastest and youngest heavyweight that we have in our generation. Now Moses Itauma, oh my God, southpaw, deadly puncher, lightning quick, intelligent, smart, cerebral at just 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. And even if you think about it, the man has been dangerous. I mean, he just knocked out Dillian Whyte a few minutes ago.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.